Like you were doing enough business consistently where you're like, all right, if I had a brick and mortar, I know people would come.
Any brick and mortar, any like small business is a huge investment and risk, but yeah, like it felt good.
Yeah.
It wasn't a no-brainer, but like it made sense to me.
Right, today we're at Outta Sight Pizza number 2. Eric is gonna show me around a little bit in here, and this is their second location. We're in San Francisco. Their first location opened up about 3 years ago after they were doing pop-ups. And this is their second location. The first one's been doing so good, they decided to open a second location. They're small pizzerias. This is about 1,400 square feet between the top floor and the bottom floor, doing unique slices. Eric's gonna show us around his pizzeria, show us how they operate. We're gonna talk to him about the story about how they got started as a pop-up and now what they're doing now in locations and the expansion mindset that they have and what they're doing. They're serving a lot of pizzas in this area. I know your background is not pizza, right? It's like more traditional.
I've been making pizza, I'm like in my mid-30s, but I've been making pizza since I was like 17.
Really?
But I mean, the pizza's always just a job, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I worked at a bar and grill, had a couple baker's prides and fucking like pre-made crust. That's pizza, you know?
Yep.
Worked at another bakery, you know, like bar and grill, kind of like that. And then it's like in between jobs, it's like, all right, you know, just go make pizza.
Are you from San Francisco?
No, I'm from Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been out here for like 18 years.
Okay, so you've kind of been around here for almost half your life now, right?
Yeah.
What's the pizza scene like around here?
If you ask me that question, like, you know, pre-pandemic, I'd probably say like there's pizza scene, but it's just like dominated by Neapolitan.
Okay.
You know, there's a handful of people out there who are like really trying, but you know, like there's, you know, there are your hitters, you know, but like Tony is, you know, he was kind of the pizza scene for the longest time.
Yeah, I went to his spot last night. He was one of the first person that I had on the podcast because he was kind of like the most well-known person for a long time between Pizza Expo and what he was doing with the acrobatic stuff and all
100%.
that stuff.
I was like, it's crazy. I was watching him in high school on the Food Network.
Yeah, that's right.
I think it's like for the scene now though, I think there's now a scene, and so like that torch is like slowly being handed off or whatever.
How long have you been open for? Like your first location, your Outta Sight?
So we started as a pop-up in 2020, you know, pandemic pop-up.
Yeah.
But like we opened our brick and mortar in 2021. No, in 2022. Yeah, so we'll be 3 years at the other shop, and then this shop just opened in February.
So 3 years you've been open, and I said, hey, I'm going to San Francisco. Where should I go? Your name popped up.
Cool.
So that's great that you're obviously doing some good stuff. And what kind of style of pizza would you say you make?
Many people will say many different things, but like, you know, we make pizza, like we make...
How do you describe it? I hate to say style, right? Like, how do you describe it?
We make a big pizza. We make an 18 or 20 inch pizza. We make them for slices, but we take bread technique because we're in San Francisco and Northern California has been so prominent with like sourdough, fermentation, bread and everything.
Yeah.
And you know, apply some of those techniques to the dough. Obviously use like local like Northern California ingredients or whatever, but just but also try and keep it like pizzeria style, like not cracker matzo crispy, but it has like a little bit of like, you know, like chew and like fluff to it.
Yeah.
But not your like prototypical like what I would say San Francisco pizza was before, which is just like a big old doughy, you know, crust.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's basically a big breadstick. And there was only a handful of places in San Francisco that were trying to do like an actual like New York style like thin and crispy slice.
Okay.
But I don't know, like people could never really nail down like what pizza was actually supposed to be like in the Bay Area.
I mean, 2020, there's so many people who started pop-ups in 2020 because, you know, a lot of people probably wanted to do pizza and then they got, you know, laid off or furloughed from their job. They had nothing to do. It was like the perfect time. When you started your pop-up, like what was it like? Where'd you go and how'd you find business?
Well, I've been like the San Francisco food community here and like for like restaurants and bars is like pretty it's pretty insular. Everyone like really knows each other and supports each other. And so I've been in like restaurants for like a long time. So I did have a pretty good network before, which is nice. Like one day I was thinking, oh, should I make bread today or bagels or pizza?
At your house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I was like chatting with another friend who was a baker and we were just kind of like shooting some ideas back and forth. And I was like, all right, here's what I'm going to try today. Here's what I'm going to try tomorrow, wherever. And my whole thing was I just didn't want to have like the pizza hacker recipe because I knew that recipe.
Okay.
And that was a kind of like a try and true. And so yeah, I just like went down the rabbit hole. Basically it's like 2 or 3 times a day was like doing a different kind of pizza, you know. Started like doing like drops and just like having people like DM the Instagram or whatever.
Okay. So you started an Instagram account to kind of put pictures on there and videos and stuff?
Yeah. It was completely an Instagram business at first.
Okay. That's super cool.
Yeah. And like just after about like 4 months, like we went from like hand mixing it to like a KitchenAid mixer, 10 quart, 20 quart, and just kept building up. Then eventually, I was thinking about like leaving my job at the time. Like I was like the culinary director of a group of breweries here.
Okay.
And so like I had like access to like a lot of ingredients and equipment at that time. But I was like, let's start trying to make this pizza and have people like actually like try it. Yeah, people just like really liked it, and I was like, oh, you're just like being blowing smoke out my ass because like everyone's trying to support each other at that time.
Right. Everybody's being. Do you think everybody's just being nice?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like no one wants to fucking like no one wants to like like poo-poo anything. Like well, everyone's still
especially if it's free and you give it to them.
Yeah,
no one's
exactly.
Gonna be like, this is horrible. So.
Yeah. So I was trying to find a place to do pop-ups at, have it be consistent. Like I took a consulting job for like another restaurant at the time too, but yeah, it was like here's the dream. Here's to get like better pizza in my eyes into more people's hands in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then we were like we had a couple of old friends who had a wine bar that needed.
What ovens were you using at the time?
Using a Baker's Pride just like that.
Were those right there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think P44.
How were you carrying them around?
Oh no, like we stationed it. Yeah,
okay.
So like we found a home in a wine bar,
Got
and
it.
like just like you had to do a small electrical upgrade, get the oven in there and everything. But that was also an investment on like our part and then like our friends' part because we were like broke and we needed jobs, we need to be self-employed,
Yeah.
But because of like the mandates, like they were a wine bar, they needed food and everything.
Got it. Because at the time of 2020, you couldn't really do anything business-wise restaurant unless you serve food, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we got really lucky because it's like we didn't have to schlep it anywhere. We had the oven there, we had the mixer there. It was a small like little kitchen or whatever, and we were cranking. And we started for doing 2 days, just like Friday and Saturdays, and then we ended up being Tuesday through Saturday at the end. But we were there for almost a year and a half, and it was like just park-lit or pickups. Then it was finally indoor and then outdoor, and then we started doing like catering out of it. But then I think our natural progression was that like we outgrew it and we needed to have an actual like brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Because the business was like the demand was there.
How many pizzas were you selling a night, like during the pop-up days?
I think like we get 90.
Really, that's a good amount.
Yeah, it is a good amount
For those ovens.
Yeah. I mean, but that was like cranking. I think 65 was like a good night. But like in the peak of summer and we do all these like fun specials and whatnot. Like we could like start and then stop, like start and not stop. Essentially. Yeah.
But you made enough. Like you were doing enough business consistently where you're like, all right, if I had a brick and mortar, I know people would come.
It was, I mean, any brick and mortar, any like small business is a huge investment and risk. But yeah, like it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt like the right time, especially with like San Francisco opening up again, and like the area where our first shop is at. Like it was kind of like it wasn't a no-brainer, but like it made sense to me.
Is the first shop similar layout to this one?
Yeah. We're like slice shops. Like the other one has a couple of tables in it, but it's just order at the counter.
Yeah.
If you have a seat, you have a seat. If you don't, you don't. Maybe you sit down with a stranger, make a friend.
Yeah.
But the area where the other shop is in was like the roughest neighborhood in the United States. You see it on the news, you see it on like whatever. It's just like all the riffraff in the streets, like the downfall of San Francisco. It came from that neighborhood.
Really?
But I love that neighborhood. And it was like a neighborhood that like my partner and I like had like a lot of connection to, and it was like our shop is a block away from the Civic Center, which has like City Hall, has the federal building, has a bunch of parks and everything. It's the most densely concentrated population of children and like ethnic minority diversity in like the Bay Area, and so it was like a place that like we knew that was going to come back, but like it was going to take like the time to or whatever.
What's it like now there?
Oh, it's great. I mean, like it's still an inner city. You go to inner city like Boston, Austin, like whatever, Los Angeles. It has like its issues, but like it's looking pretty damn good right now.
So your other shop's similar to this one. How many square feet is this one? This looks like 1,000 square feet.
Yeah, I mean like up and down, they're both about 1,400.
So you do prep downstairs?
Yeah. This one has a prep kitchen. The other place has our office.
Okay. And you do the dough at each location?
Yep.
Like each location does their own dough?
Yep.
And you're making dough every day?
Oh yeah, we're making a lot of dough every day.
Yeah. Are you guys busy now?
Yeah, we're very busy. It's all just been like week after week. It just gets busier and busier. But we're lucky because like every once in a while we get like a big bump.
Yeah.
Like Infatuation had like top 20 in the United States, and they put us on that one. Then Food and Wine had 10 must visit. Like that was a couple weeks ago. Like we were like number 8 on that one. And so just like stuff like that. And then like the local ones, like our Chronicle or our local Infatuation or Eat or whatever will be on the list.
Do you seek those out, or they just find you?
They just find us.
Yeah, just from word of mouth?
Yeah. Like we have like a pretty staunch and like fine line in the sand of like we don't don't we don't fraternize or reach out with folk who may or may not try to use us for their advantage.
Right. Like influencers, you mean?
Sure.
The reason I like to come talk to guys like you is because you have a great story, right? And there's a lot of people out there who want to open a pizza shop like you, and sometimes you don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So I love hearing like how you did it, because every story is different. I've done so many of these videos, and every single story, the pizza shop could be exactly the same, but how they got there is completely different.
Yeah, and like I've been in this business. I've opened up restaurants for other people, like many times before. I've consulted for them. I've opened up like a personal restaurant before that was a failure or whatnot. But it's like that taught me everything, and like that kind of information was invaluable. End of the world at the time when things didn't work out or whatnot.
Right.
But like these are the kind of things that like I would love to talk about for other people's benefit, because like if I had like that kind of like hindsight, foresight, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But
right.
everything happens for a reason, I guess, and so I'm happy that I'm here right now. But like it didn't go without having like a lot of struggle and trial and error.
What was like the biggest struggle?
Honestly, just trying to keep people happy. Like customers, employees, yourselves, my partner, and everything. Like we're here as a pizza business to provide food that is comfort for like a lot of people. Like we try to use good ingredients, we try to make it accessible and everything. But like when you do that, well, like good ingredients cost money.
Right.
Living and operating in San Francisco costs a lot of money. And so just like trying to please and make everyone happy, like that comes with its own set of boundaries and everything. But like I think that we've gotten where we wanted to be.
Good.
After a while, but it didn't come easy.
Your pizza shop is pretty simple, right? Like you have a counter and you have a Pizza Master oven?
Yeah, we sure do.
Yeah, you like the Pizza Master oven?
I mean, I hate it now. I've been working with the Pizza Master since 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
That's like when they first got
That's
here,
when
right?
they first came out. Yeah.
From where are they from? Sweden?
Yeah, from Sweden.
Yeah.
If I could redo things, I might have just gone with go with Fashion Baker's Pride and kept it with gas.
Like gas?
Well, there's like a Baker's Pride, like a repair person in every city.
True, yeah, because these electric ovens have, if there's a problem that goes wrong, it's like a car, right? Like cars from the 60s or 70s, you could easily fix yourself, but now there's so much electrical going on.
There's a handful of people who know how to service them, Pizza Masters. You might have met a couple.
Yeah.
You have to get your electricians in on it and everything.
Yeah.
But like that one right there, that one hasn't had that many issues. Christian, what would you say the average on the other shop, the oven having an issue?
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah, every 2 weeks.
That'd be so stressful.
Yeah, and so it's we run phase 3 over there, and so that's a lot of power. The adjustments that we had to do recently were just kind of we'll switch the panel around wherever because it draws a lot of power. But it's still it's having its little issues. But I just can't call someone to come look at it, the motherboard in there is crazy.
So if you had to do it all over again, would you just pick a different oven?
It's hard. It's really hard because I know that
does this make a superior pizza to a Baker's Pride?
I think, Baker's Pride's been making great pizza for years, in other shops and everything. We're gonna try and scale at a certain point.
Yeah.
And I think that one thing with Outta Sight is that we try to make really good pizza accessible to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then so these 2 shops of ours, the first ones, we'll stay doing the same thing over and over again. But if we want to go out to the suburbs, and open up a shop and because our thing is we do fun zany toppings or whatever, but if we can do something like that, but then can make the product more consistent, with just the dough ballers, the press, the conveyors, why not,
Yeah, so you're not anti technology to help you out.
Well, I think that AI and robots are going to rule everyone one day. So.
Some pizza guys are very anti-technology.
I used to I've done a lot of different food in my day or whatever,
right.
And I've done Japanese, I've done French, I've done high-end Chinese ware, but across the board, it's things become more accessible and they become more mass-produced or whatever because people want them,
Yeah.
Everyone's a foodie now, so it's everyone wants to try sushi, but it's you can't teach everyone this craft, and so it's there's sushi rollers, or there's literally robotic woks,
Yeah.
And it's I also would have said this 10 years ago, being hell no, takes the heart out, we're artisans, we're craftsmen, et cetera, et cetera. But I do have a dream of my retirement plan will be having a small pizzeria where I make all the pizzas, by hand.
Just you.
Yeah. And that'll be my retirement plan.
Yeah. But that's after you've built a business that you can save enough money to retire.
Exactly.
So you gotta make that money first.
Yeah, and that one was gonna come with cutting some certain like variables out.
What's one piece of advice you give to someone who's watching this video, who's looking to open a pizza shop or start a pizza business? Like what's one piece of advice you'd give back? Maybe something that you wish you would have known back in the day.
Well, I give this to everyone that like who hits me up in the DM or like sends an email. It's like, oh, hey, I'm really curious about opening up a shop. I love pizza. I've never worked in the restaurant industry before, et cetera, et cetera. Like, go and give 80 hours a week of your life to a pizza maker or a restaurant, and do that for like a couple months, and see if that feels good. And if it does feel good and you come out of that like still juiced and like entertained about like the whole idea, fuck yeah, go for it.
I love it. Making pizza at home for your friends and family is much different than like owning a pizza business. If you just like making pizza, just buy an uni oven and make pizza.
Oh, 100%. I'm just like, yeah, like, I don't follow this guy on the internet, but like I see his stuff everywhere. But like he has like it seems like he has like a little like pop up for his friends of like doing smash burgers in his backyard or whatever, and he makes it look just like a little diner,
Yeah.
But then he's like a couple months later, it's like I'm actually considering like doing this full time. Like no, stay where you are.
Yeah.
Stay where you are.
Yeah.
Exactly where you are. All your friends who are telling you to like take this further are not your friends anymore.
It's so much different out there once you like start a business doing it. And you have to like support the rent and the employees and payroll and all that stuff. It just becomes a different animal.
Working with the local and federal government on their bullshit regulations and everything, and their permitting.
Yeah, I know, that's hard. I mean, you're in California. I've heard horror stories from people and my friends in LA who have started pizza shops, and I'm sure it's not that much different up here.
Yeah, I mean, like, they just don't give you a blueprint, and then like when you do something wrong, it's like you're like the enemy, you're the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you install this sink without like panels on the side?
Right, yeah.
I think like our health department right now is like severely short-staffed, so it's like, it hurts small business trying to open because it takes like a long time for the health inspectors to come out. I just wish that all across the board, people in these cities that like make these decisions will just like realize that we're not trying to pull fast ones. We're just trying to get businesses open, create jobs, feed the people.
Yeah, perfect. Perfectly said. All right, so let's take a look at what we got here. So this one is, see, I told you, they got some unique pizzas here. This is the Double Dragon. This is like what you would say is more of a traditional New York style pizza. This one's the Pâté Jack. They had a Vanna White one, but now it's a Pâté Jack. It's got nectarines. It's got Mike's Hot Honey, ricotta, white pizza. And then this is a specialty pizza that they have. It's the Peking duck. It's almost like a grandma style crust. You can see it's like a mixture between a grandma and a Detroit. And it's got hoisin, mozzarella, tea-smoked duck, crispy shallots, basil, and a Szechuan sauce that you can see like the red Szechuan sauce on top. This is kind of what I was talking about when I said Eric brings his culinary background to pizza. This is one of those pizzas. Now, I don't know if this pizza would work in a lot of different markets. Maybe it would, but in San Francisco, Eric said that they have a unique palate. Like they have a sophisticated palate when it comes to pizza. California Pizza Kitchen is from this area, and these pizza toppings that you see here are very much in line with what people like. All right, here we go. Trying this Peking duck one here. It looks good. It's smoking too. See the bottom there? And a little crispiness on the side. All right, here we go. I'm going in for the bite. The Peking duck one, that's really got a light crust there. You can see the good crumb structure. The crust is soft, so this like a little crispy on the bottom because they reheated it, but in here it's real soft. Nice crispy shallots on top. And that hoisin sauce is really good. Gives it a little bit of a tang, sweet crisp there. So it looks heavy, but it's not heavy at all. Really, really light. All right, so this is their round one, New York. Cooked. They do a 20-inch pizza. And this is the Pâté Jack. This is nectarine, ricotta, Mike's Hot Honey on a white pizza. Let's try this one out. A subtle flavor to it. It's so thinly cut. Probably cut on the mandolin with the ricotta and the Mike's Hot Honey, and not overly done. Sometimes people use that Mike's Hot Honey and they're like, it's like Mike's Hot Honey overload. But that one's done pretty well. Not pretty well, really well. And it's not overly, none of the flavors are overpowering. They all kind of go together well. This one's got tomato sauce, basil, pesto, basil on top. I love how they do the shredded cheese on top that way. I love it like that. This one's got a little spicy kick to it. Artisan sauce, basil. So that sauce is a little zesty, a little oomph. There's a little bit of a spiciness to it. So I think these are really good pizzas. No wonder why they're really busy here. What day is it today? It's Thursday. Get some slices to go. How do you do? Thanks so much for watching this Pizzeria Insider video. Do me a favor, as always, leave a comment where you're watching this from, name of your pizzeria if you're in the area. Maybe we are going to be coming to a city near you in the future, and we can stop into your pizza shop and do a video with you. If you want that, you got to know where you are and where you're located and what the name of your shop is. And don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, because we do a new video every single week, along with the podcast, How You Slice It podcast, where we interview a lot of the great pizza makers in the country as well. Thank you so much for tuning into the show, and we'll see you right back here next week, everybody.